Hi everyone, welcome back to Golden Key Design.
So right now we're going through all three of the bedrooms and putting an accent wall in each. On last week's episode we did the wall behind us, so if you want to check out that video you can click up here in this corner. On this week's episode we're going to be doing the master bedroom, and here's a picture of the design that we're going to be going for.
And we'll be using Sherwin-Williams for treat. Let's get to painting.
Woo! Let's do this. Alright, so as you can see behind me, you can probably tell that we've already edged all of this twice. However, you can see we've only put one coat on the roll. You can kind of see the outline here. So we're about to put on our second coat, but we did all these rolls in the same night, so we already rolled this just about an hour ago. And in order to keep our rollers fresh, so we don't have to like clean them in between, or if we let them sit, they dry out, we just put a plastic bag on them. So I'll take this off. This just keeps the air out and keeps the paint wet. So now our roller is still fresh and ready to go. And then the paint is covered in tin foil. So now I can just like dip this in here. The paint's still nice and fresh and wet, and then we can just keep going. Let's get through it.
We're painting a few of the border pieces before we nail them to the wall.
Alright, so as you can see, we've taped out where we're going to put kind of the cross hatching. We have 3 boards going across horizontally, as you can see there, and then we're going to do 5 boards across going vertically. And this will equate to roughly a square that's about 18 or 19 inches by 18 or 19 inches. It's kind of impossible to get it perfectly square, but we tried our best. And we just taped these out just to visualize if we liked it, and we're pretty happy with it. So now we're going to start nailing in the boards. So we're installing the first vertical board, and we're just wanting to make sure this is nice and level. We're centering it, and before we put the glue on, we made it perfectly level, and then we put a piece of tape here. And it's like we went like this, put the 4-foot level up, got it nice and perfect. I guess it's technically plumb, not level. And then the tape here is just aligning it perfectly with this edge of the board. So now we'll take it off, put the glue on, and then when I put the glue back up, that way we don't need to use the level at all. We'll just use the tape as our reference point to make sure it's perfectly vertical up and down and plumb. Let's get to it!
Now it's time to fill the nail holes with spackle.
Alright, so we're gonna caulk this little square up close so you can kind of see how to do it. Basically, we're just making this seam here kind of disappear, and we're gonna be painting all these greens so you won't even really see it. But you just want to put a little bit on, and then with a wet finger come back and then just wipe it clean. If you put too much on, it'll squeeze out the side and it'll just get all messy. So the key is put on a little less than you think. And then you just gotta be very light with the trigger and just push a little bit out at a time. And then as soon as you're done, release the trigger, otherwise it'll keep coming out the top. So here we go. like that, done. So we just finished putting all the spackle in the nail holes, and then I just went through and caulked everything, which took quite a while because there's a lot of areas to caulk on this particular design. We got to do inside the squares as well as all of these horizontal joints as well as the joints on the top. But it's looking pretty good, and then especially a key thing to do is do the joints here down where it connects to the opposing wall, and same thing up in this corner. That really makes it look like it's a part of the wall instead of boards that are nailed to it. Same thing with all the caulking in here, it makes it all look like one big piece. And the plan is to paint these all green, the same color as the wall. But I just find it interesting. It actually looks pretty good with the white. I mean, maybe you don't, but I think it looks kind of good with just the white individual boards and the green paint in the back. I think it looks kind of cool. There's definitely a place for it, but I think for us, we're gonna paint it green so it's not too jarring in the room. It's not too much of a statement, but if we paint these green, it'll kind of blend in but still give the wall some texture. So we're just gonna clean up the nail holes now, wipe off the excess with a damp rag, wait for the caulk to dry, and then probably start painting tomorrow. And then this wall will be pretty much done.
Time to paint the trim, and finally, we're done. Let's get to painting. Oh.
Bianca, so let's get painting. Let's try it again, you say it.
So let's get painting.
So let's do it again.
So let's get painting. So let's get painting.